Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or the Try-F podcast, where we try not to F podcast up. And we're going to start out by F'ing up because Gary's uh,
I'm back
mic
now.
There
is
he
it
is.
working?
I
There he
hate
is.
OBS. I hate OBS so much.
It
I
cut
hate
out
it.
as soon as he's tried to the intro.
Oh my gosh. It's just crazy. Like it does this every time. It just shuts off my mic. It doesn't shut anything else off, just my mic. CIA. We blame the CIA. Anyway.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. Great. How is everybody?
Well, like very well. Like a hole in the ground.
Like a
Hold
hole
on. Ground.
hole in the ground. Okay. Well, I'll take that as a good thing.
Well. Well.
You're well. Oh, it was a pun.
There it is.
Dude, I ain't sharp enough for that tonight, man. I
was
can't.
Pondiferous.
Yeah, I can't do it. Okay, so I'll try to just do this a little better. All right, so the death of Sarah. This is Genesis chapter 23.
Will you bring my phone charger when you come back out? Thank you.
All right.
Sorry.
Oh, before I forget, shameless plug, because I'm going to forget if I don't do this right at the beginning. The
Oh,
print
you don't
copy
get the
for the book, for the second book, The Covenant Crisis, came out. Temple of Maggie Stone. Buy the book. I'm poor. There is one thing I haven't mentioned about these books that I should have mentioned when I started plugging them. You can start anywhere from like 1 through 5 and pretty much be able to keep up with what's going on. It isn't until about book 6 that you start needing to know the prior books because there's enough background info and all this. So yeah, I just need to make sure I mention that. But yes, Temple of Maggie Stone is out. Maggie Stone's a 91-year-old woman. She thought she was going to die. She was wrong. And everything was going great until the other fake bodies woke up. So there's your teaser.
Oh.
So, yep. All right. Now,
So they're like zombies.
no, they're fake synthetic bodies.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. And then they start waking up, and nobody knows why. And nobody knows what's going to happen to Maggie Stone because the other bodies start waking up.
So they become sentient on their own without souls?
Yes, but you have to see how it happens. Hint,
Nice.
it's demons. So,
It's the
so anyway, so yeah,
It's always CIA.
it's always the CIA, right?
What's that movie with the that fella? You know who I'm talking about. Bradley Cooper.
Oh.
And he switches bodies or something. You remember that one?
Oh,
yeah.
Where he switches bodies. Who's he switch bodies with?
I don't remember. But he dies. Like he switches bodies but I'm pretty sure it was CIA. It might have been a privately funded company, but definitely CIA ties. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. It's more like Surrogate. Did you ever see that Bruce Willis movie, Surrogate?
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. So you get fake bodies. The only difference is Maggie Stone's soul is basically transferred into one of these fake bodies. And so they tried to sell the whole thing as a science experiment, but when it was really an incantation, and then all the other demons start waking up.
Gotcha.
So, or like, because it's a bunch of occult
That's
crap.
pretty good, man. I like that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So if anybody's interested in it, I'm poor. I need money. Buy the book. It's on Amazon. It's on GaryPaulVarner.org. It's on Barnes & Noble. It's everywhere because I'm poor. So moving on. Okay.
Is it in a store at Barnes & Noble?
Well, it's an online store. Like, I'd have to, like, talk to my... There's a whole process of actually getting it physically into, like, the bookshelves. You know what I mean? So, no, it's online right now. You can order it on audiobook, paperback, or ebook. So,
Word.
depending on your pressure. Depending on your own thing. Actually, the audiobook isn't that bad. Like, I had to do the AI thing because time. I eventually plan to do all the audiobooks over again with, like, people. But because I don't have enough time, I went with the AI voice. And the female voices are better than the male voices. So I liked the way that the Maggie Stone audiobook turned out better than the Jerome or the familiar audiobook. So, It's kind of interesting. So anyway, all right, we should move on. I just wanted to get that done because I'll forget if I don't do it at the beginning. So, okay, Genesis chapter 23, the death of Sarah. Sarah lived to be 127 years old. She died at Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, in the land of Canaan. And Abraham went to mourn for Sarah and to weep over her. Then Abraham rose from beside his dead wife and spoke to the Hittites. He said, I am a foreigner and stranger among you. Sell me some property for a burial site here so I can bury my dead. The Hittites replied to Abraham, Sir, listen to us. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your dead in the choicest of our tombs. None of us will refuse you his tomb for burying your dead. Then Abraham rose and bowed down before the people of the land, the Hittites. He said to them, If you are willing to let me bury my dead, then listen to me and intercede with Ephron, son of Zohar, on my behalf. So he will sell me the calf of Machpelah, which belongs to him and is at the end of his field. Ask him to sell it to me for the full price as a burial site among you. Ephron the Hittite was sitting among his people, and he replied to Abraham in the hearing of all the Hittites who had come to the gate of his city. No, my lord, he said, listen to me. I give you the field, and I give you the calf that is in it. I give it to you in the presence of my people. Bury your dead. Again, Abraham bowed down before the people of the land, and he said to Ephron in their hearing, Listen to me, if you will. I will pay the price of the field. Accept it from me so I can bury my dead there. Ephron answered Abraham, Listen to me, my lord. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. But what is that between you and me? Bury your dead. Abraham agreed to Ephron's terms and weighed out for him the price he had named in the hearing of the Hittites, 400 shekels of silver, according to the weight current among the merchants. So Ephron's field in Machpelah near Mamre, both the field and the cave in it, and all the trees within the borders of the field, was deeded to Abraham as his property in the presence of all the Hittites who had come to the gate of the city. Afterward, Abraham buried his wife Sarah in the cave in the land of Machpelah near Mamre, which is, I know I'm saying that wrong, but whatever, which is at Hebron in the land of Canaan. So the field and the cave in it were deeded to Abraham by the Hittites as a burial site. And that is chapter 23. Any thoughts on chapter 23?
Nope, that's dope.
I wonder
All right.
if anybody's actually tried to find her burial site.
Find her burial site? I don't know. It's a good question. I'm sure somebody has, but I don't imagine they've had any luck. But anyway.
That'd be cool to have the funding to follow the Bible, like in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, this is where Abraham stood when he was, took Isaiah for the sacrifice.
Yeah.
This is where Sarah was buried. And just go there, and that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Unfortunately, people would get mad at you because you'd probably find sites that weren't quote-unquote traditional, and then, you'd have to argue with all the other guys that'd be like, no, I was over here, and this is where that happened.
You actually wind up in the middle of Africa somewhere. It's like, this is where it actually happened.
Well, I've
they're all
heard...
like, that's not right. That's not right.
Yeah. Well, I've heard, people argue over where the Dead Sea crossing happened. They argue about where Mount Sinai was. I mean, it's a crazy... Biblical archaeology is a crazy field.
People argue over whether or not Jesus actually wept.
That's true. Oh, well.
The shortest verse in the Bible is Jesus wept. People argue over that.
Yeah. What'd you say, Cody?
I said some people don't even think Jesus existed.
You're going to have to get close to your mic, man. I cannot understand a word you're saying.
Yeah, we lost you.
Some people think that Jesus didn't even exist.
Yeah, some people do think that. They're wrong. But anyway.
I agree.
Huh?
I agree.
Yeah. Stay at it. We'll get her figured out. All right, so we're going to move on to chapter 24. This is Isaac and Rebekah. Genesis chapter 24. Abraham was now very old, and the Lord had blessed him in every way. He said to the senior servant in his household, the one in charge of all that he had, "Put your hand under my thigh. I want you to swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of earth, that you will not get a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I am living, but will go to my country and my own relatives and get a wife for my son Isaac." The servant asked him, "What if the woman is unwilling to come back with me to this land? Shall I then take your son back to the country you came from?" "Make sure that you do not take my son back there," Abraham said. "The Lord, the God of heaven, who brought me out of my father's household and my native land, and who spoke to me and promised me an oath, saying, 'To your offspring I will give this land,' he will send his angel before you so that you can get a wife for my son from there. If the woman is unwilling to come back with you, then you will be released from this oath of mine. Only do not take my son back there." So the servant put his hand under the thigh of his master Abraham and swore an oath to him concerning this matter. Now, I do find that interesting that a servant is being tasked with finding the son a wife. It seems like an odd custom, but
Yeah.
Maybe he knew his way around the ladies, man.
I don't know. It's a weird thing, though. It's a weird thing. Anyway, so thankfully the guy's, a righteous man. Otherwise, I don't know. That could have been bad. But anyway, so
Maybe that's why I picked him.
yeah, maybe he had a good reputation. Yeah. So then the servant left, taking with him 10 of his master's camels, loaded with all kinds of good things from his master. He set out for Aram Naharaim and made his way to the town of Nahor. He had the camels kneel down near the well outside the town. It was toward evening, the time the women go out to draw water. Then he prayed, "Lord, God of my master Abraham, make me successful today and show kindness to my master Abraham. See, I am standing beside this spring, and the daughters of the townspeople are coming out to draw water. May it be that when I say to a young woman, 'Please let down your jar that I may have a drink,' and she says, 'Drink, and I'll water your camels too,' let her be the one you have chosen for your servant Isaac. By this I will know that you have shown kindness to my master." Before he had finished praying, Rebekah came out with her jar on her shoulder. She was the daughter of Bethuel, son of Milcah, who was the wife of Abraham's brother Nahor. The woman was very beautiful, a virgin, and no man had ever slept with her. She went down to the spring, filled her jar, and came up again. The servant hurried to meet her and said, "Please give me a little water from your jar." "Drink, my lord," she said, and quickly lowered the jar to her hands and gave him a drink. After she had given him a drink, she said, "I'll draw water for your camels too, until they have had enough to drink." So she quickly emptied her jar into the trough, ran back to the well to draw more water, and drew enough for all his camels. Without saying a word, the man watched her closely to learn whether or not the Lord had made his journey successful. When the camels had finished drinking, the man took out a gold nose ring weighing a beka and 2 gold bracelets weighing 10 shekels. Then he asked, "Whose daughter are you? Please tell me, is there room in your father's house for us to spend the night?" She answered him, "I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah, born to Nahor." And she added, "We have plenty of straw and fodder, as well as room for you to spend the night. Then the man bowed down and worshipped the Lord, saying, "Praise be the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who does not abandon his kindness and faithfulness to my master. As for me, the Lord has led me on the journey to the house of my master's relatives." The young man ran and told her mother's household about these things. Now Rebekah had a brother named Laban, and he hurried out to the man at the spring. As soon as he had seen the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's arms, and had heard Rebekah tell what the man said to her, he went out to the man and found him standing by the camels near the spring. "Come, you who are blessed by the Lord," he said. "Why are you standing out here? I have prepared the house and a place for the camels." So the man went to the house, and the camels were unloaded. Straw and fodder were brought for the camels, and water for him and his men to wash their feet. Then food was set before him, but he said, "I will not eat until I have told you what I have to say." "Then tell us," Laban said. So he said, "I am Abraham's servant. The Lord has blessed my master abundantly, and he has become wealthy. He has given him sheep and cattle, silver and gold, male and female servants, and camels and donkeys. My master's wife Sarah has borne him a son in her old age, and he has given him everything he owns. And my master made me swear an oath and said, 'You must not get a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites in whose land I live, but go to my father's family and to my own clan and get a wife for my son.' Then I asked my master, 'What if the woman will not come back with me?' He replied, 'The Lord, before whom I have walked faithfully, will send his angel with you and make your journey a success, so that you can get a wife for my son from my own clan and from my father's family. You will be released from my oath if, when you go to my clan, they refuse to give her to you, then you will be released from my oath.' When I came to the spring, I said, 'Lord, God of my master Abraham, if you will, please grant success to the journey on which I have come. See, I am standing beside this spring. If a young woman comes out to draw water, and I say to her, "Please let me drink a little water from your jar," and if she says to me, "Drink, and I'll draw water for your camels too," let her be the one the Lord has chosen for my master's son." Before I finished praying in my heart, Rebekah came out with her jar on her shoulder. She went down to the spring and drew water, and I said to her, "Please give me a drink." She quickly lowered her jar from her shoulder and said, "Drink, and I'll water your camels too." So I drank, and she watered the camels also. I asked her, "Whose daughter are you?" She said, "The daughter of Bethuel, son of Nahor, whom Milcah bore to him." Then I put the ring in her nose and the bracelets on her arms, and I bowed down and worshipped the Lord. I praised the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who had led me on the right road to get the granddaughter of my master's brother for his son. Now, if you will show kindness and faithfulness to my master, tell me, and if not, tell me, so I may know which way to turn." Laban and Bethuel answered, "This is from the Lord. We can say nothing to you one way or the other. Here is Rebekah. Take her and go, and let her become the wife of your master's son, as the Lord has directed." When Abraham's servant heard what they said, he bowed down to the ground before the Lord. Then the servant brought out gold and silver jewelry and articles of clothing and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave costly gifts to her brother and to her mother. Then he and the men who were with him ate and drank and spent the night there. When they got up the next morning, he said, "Send me on my way to my master." But her brother and her mother replied, "Let the young woman remain with us 10 days or so, then you may go." But he said to them, "Do not detain me, now that the Lord has granted success to my journey. Send me on my way, so I may go to my master." Then they said, "Let's call the young woman and ask her about it." So they called Rebekah and asked her, "Will you go with this man?" "I will go," she said. So they sent their sister Rebekah on her way, along with her nurse and Abraham's servants and his men. And they blessed Rebekah and said to her, "Our sister, may you increase to thousands upon thousands. May your offspring possess the cities of their enemies." Then Rebekah and her attendants got ready and mounted the camels and went back with the man. So the servant took Rebekah and left. Now Isaac had come from Beer Lahai Roi, for he was living in Negev. He went out to the field one evening to meditate. And as he looked up, he saw camels approaching. Rebekah also looked up and saw Isaac. She got down from her camel and asked the servant, "Who is that man in the field coming to meet us?" "He is my master," the servant answered. So she took her veil and covered herself. Then the servant told Isaac all he had done. Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother, Sarah, and he married Rebekah. So she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Genesis 24.
That was a long one.
That was a long one.
I was letting you get through it. I was like, wow.
Well, what do you think about that?
I'm trying to remember, like, as I was reading it, I was thinking somebody said something. It was like a sermon I heard a long time ago. Somebody said something about why they wanted to keep Rebekah there for 10 days, but I can't remember what that was about. It seems like, because Laban's a nefarious character in Genesis. He kind of trips people up. He's kind of a, he's like Jacob, only worse. You know what I mean? Like, he cheats people and stuff. So I want to say that the reason he left was because Laban and that family was up to no good, so he wanted to get her out fast. But I cannot remember the context or when and where I heard that. So I can try to look that up if you're interested. So otherwise, don't take my word for it, because that's an old sermon. Yeah. Maybe. Let me you guys talk amongst yourselves. What do you think about it, Cody? I'm going to try to look this up while you're talking.
I don't know. I didn't have a lot of thoughts about it. It's just a story about buying a girlfriend,
Why did he give her a nose ring? That one I'm curious.
That's like a wedding ring back then.
Oh.
I always kind of like to give some of those denominational guys crap for getting mad at people who have jewelry. I'm like, we get mad at nose rings, but hey, Abraham's servant gave Rebekah one. I don't know what you're complaining about. You can't say it's a sin if, it happened way back when.
It said he put the ring in her nose. It's like, whoa. She's got a septum. That's how they got married, a septum. Or was it just a gift? I think it was just a gift.
Over here.
Oh.
On the side. Not a septum.
What are those ones called?
I don't know.
So AI, and I don't know how reliable this is. It seems, I remember the last option is striking a bell. So I kind of think that's what I heard. But the AI says Laban and Rebekah's mother likely asked for a 10-day delay in Genesis 24 to properly prepare Rebekah for her long journey and marriage, allow for a respectful goodbye, and perhaps to secure more gifts, dowry from the wealthy servant. See, that's kind of what I thought. I feel like I heard somebody say they were going to try to get more out of him because, he had money. And that's why that's why he was supposed to leave. So, but I don't know. That's just what I heard. I need a drink after that.
Well read, sir.
Thank you. All right. So we're on to Genesis 25, unless anybody has any final thoughts. Actually, let me ask you a question. What pops in my head?
Answer.
What do you think the biblical view of love is, or the definition of love is, when a story like that's in the Bible? Because it seems very hard to comprehend love as like an emotional feeling, when you're like meeting people at random and a servant is buying your wife, and yet you're commanded to love your wife. What do you think that says about love and the biblical understanding of what love is?
Well, I mean, love is I look at it as a verb almost. I mean, like.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with that.
But I don't know. I think back then, I mean, I think we talked about last week how everybody was dying all the time. Like everybody was dying like constantly. Like there was just a lot more death.
Mm-hmm.
And so back then, like marriage was about like bloodline per generation. So like I wonder if the servant went out to look for like good stock, like genetic stock. That was like his task.
Yeah, I know Abraham definitely wanted to keep it within his like family tradition, but I don't know if that's because of like something genetic, or if it was because they were already worshiping like Baal or some kind of evil thing, or at least that was more common. Obviously, not all of them were doing that yet, but there might have been some cultural differences he was worried about. I don't know. But I agree with what you said about love being a verb. I actually agree with that quite strongly, passionately. I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
Is a lot of people want to talk about love being just purely emotional, and I'm like, no, I think it's a choice.
or
I
physical.
mean, everybody has relationship issues, it's like, and so like you have to remember, like I try to just remember like what the Bible says, like core principles. Um Husbands love your wives and wives respect your husbands. Like
Mm-hmm.
you do those two things and you're okay.
Yeah.
So it's just like I just gotta remember to love my wife. That's all I gotta do. And that's an action, man. Like you have to do that.
Yeah. No, I actually agree
Like
with that
like showing
100%.
showing a female love is like it takes effort,
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And sometimes it's because like sometimes it's not a positive thing. Sometimes it's a correction,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's a hard thing to do.
But it's a choice. It's active. It's not catching the feels. I remember,
Mhm.
shows like Boy Meets World back in the day. They'd always be like, "Sometimes love just dies," and I'm like, I don't think it works like that. So
Yeah.
no wonder the divorce rate's like 50%. So
Yeah.
It's higher now, isn't it?
I don't know. Last I heard, it was 50. Could be higher. Who knows? We can Google it. While I'm Googling it, what do you think, Trevor? What's your thoughts?
I think love is unconditional. Real love, anyways. But that's just me.
I agree. I think it's unconditional. I think you have to make the choice of it as well.
Yeah, and sometimes that choice can be very difficult, especially if the other person is just all conditional.
I don't know why I laughed at that.
What?
You're right. Love is unconditional. I agree with that completely. But look at this. This is AI. I don't know if this is true or not, but just it figures.
Wow.
If it's true, it figures. So the U.S. divorce rate has generally declined since 2008. So it started going down in 2008, reaching historic lows in the 2020s with about 2.4 divorces per 1,000 people, or 14.56 per 1,000 married women in 2022. While roughly 40% of marriages may still end in divorce, the rate is falling for younger people, though gray divorce, ages 50 plus, remains elevated. Freaking hippies. So that's what went through my head. I'm like, it's the freaking hippies. Of course it is. So,
The boomers,
yeah.
hippies, and the boomers.
Oh my gosh. It's like, maybe that whole free love thing that you're talking about wasn't such a good idea. Maybe, just maybe.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Yes, maybe.
that's funny.
yeah. So, well, might have been a little vindictive on my part, but that was a genuine laugh. It may not have been a good one, but it was a genuine one. So, all right. We got a minute to go before we reach 30 minutes. So, anybody have any final thoughts on this passage?
No.
No.
You?
I just really want to emphasize the fact that you said love is a verb. I think that's very, 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 very true. And I think that's a very, very good point and a strong note to end on. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
For sure, man. Yeah, it's something you have to do constantly,
Mm-hmm.
over and over and over, and you get crapped on for it
Every day.
Yeah.
because, when you're showing love, you're showing vulnerability, and people take advantage of that when they're hurt or angry,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just the name of the game. Where you just got to keep keep getting stepped on, turn the other cheek. It's terrible.
No, you're all right. People are crap. Love them anyway. So,
Yep.
yeah, what do you
They
think,
don't know
Trevor?
what they do.
Yeah, they don't know
No,
what
I
they
agree.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You can love someone as much as you possibly can, and that's all you can do.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that is the end of part 1, boys. If you're on the live stream, stay with us. We've got 3 more segments left. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Deuces.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.